Shalom, shalom, shalom. Barakatha Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahushai. All praises due. Peace and power to the Father Yahweh. Peace and blessings to the royal house. And peace, praise, and honor. And much love to Yahushai, the big brother and son of the kingdom. All praises. Well, y'all, got some work to put in today. Yeah. Got some smoke on the comment boards. Even try to come with scripture. So, yeah. Armando Brown, you up, brother? We're going to see what you got going. You ain't tired of getting your head busted yet? Well, let's see what you got. He just won't die, y'all. You know? So, I can do this all day. Let's see what he got here. All right. He said the heavenly bodies are the elements of the temple that got burned up in 70 AD. That got to be one of the dumbest things I have ever heard. But let's see what else you got. If they're heavenly bodies, then how did they get burned up? Heavenly bodies are eternal. Armando. That's number one. Then he puts Isaiah 27:9. Therefore by this the guilt of Jacob will be atoned for, and this will be the full fruit of the removal of his sin, when he makes all the stones of the altars like chalk stones, crushed to pieces. No Asherim or incense altars will remain standing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Titus, the Roman general, rolled in. He built scaffolds around Solomon's temple, and he burnt it down, and he sifted through it to get the gold. What are you talking about? What elements? What elements? Y'all see how Christianity fucks you up? Then he goes on. It's okay to have as many girlfriends as you want. Here's the verse that disproved multiple wives in this age. Romans 13:1-2 says, obey the government, for God is the one who has put it there. All right. Oh, so in this age, so you're not refuting what I gave you in 1 Corinthians chapter 5. All right. Showing that the young man was sleeping with his father's wife, and that multiple wives was still active at that time. Oh, so you think that because 2,000 years later, something's changed, right? Okay. Now let me get the scriptures you got. 1 Peter 2:13. Be subject to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme. Remind them, Titus 3:1, remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient. James 4:17, it is sin to know what you ought to do and not do it. The problem is, now this directed to me. The problem is you teach that you're God and you make the rules. What you says goes in your kingdom. That's why you can be wrong and everyone accepts it. Really? Okay. Well, let's see what I'm wrong about. What else did Paul say, since you want to come from the epistles? All right. Let's go to Acts chapter 5. Start at verse 26. Then when the captain with the officers and brought them, Salak, then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, all right, and the high priest, and asked them, saying, did not we straitly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Verse 29. Here's the meat. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the power rather than man. Now, I'm not saying that what the apostle Paul said was wrong, because it wasn't. But we obey civil law, not spiritual. You do. You obey spiritual law of this damn devil. And I'm finna prove it to you why it is still valid. What is marriage? All right? What is marriage? So, let's check it out. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. Salat. Genesis chapter 38, verse 7. Genesis 38 and 7. Follow me. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. 38, here's the meat. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. Now, sex is marriage, brother. When you go into a woman, you have married her. Married means to go in. Remember this when you was in school? All right, that's what married means. Just like a male and female, a male plug and a socket. All right, you got a plug and you got a socket. When you stick it in the wall, it's considered married. Married means to go into her. Now, here's where you fucked up. You're saying that you can only have one. Yeah, well, by the government standards, it's called polygamy. The government doesn't like polygamy because they wanted to keep us from multiplying. So this is why, look, yeah, you can have as many girlfriends as you want, but a girlfriend is a wife. The Most High's way. What you think you're supposed to do is take your stupid ass to the courthouse. And let me clean it up for a bit. I'm married right now the government's way because I was a won't he do it just like you. I didn't know no better. All right? I didn't know no better. I felt that I was wrong with God. I was wrong with God if I didn't go to the altar and get in front of that fake ass preacher and make all of these vows to God when you're not making a vow to God. You're making a vow to the government, stupid ass. Right? If you ain't married, I'm going to tell you how it go. You get before him. He said, dearly beloved, all right, we are gathered here today to unite these two in holy matrimony. Do you know what matrimony is? It's a trap. Matrimony comes from the word matriarch. Your wife become your mama. And that's exactly what the fuck the government wants. The Most High is about patriarchy, where the father is the head. Now, my house ain't ran like that, no. It's still patriarchal, even though I got married in a traditional sense. But what I did was I signed all my rights away to this punk faggot-ass government. This is why men lose when they get married. And if they got the wrong woman that want to fuck them over, they can. All right? So, the scripture is clear. You can have more than one wife. If you consider, number one, first of all, you got to be in the truth. All right? Which you're not. Clearly, you a brainwashed ass Christian. I can smell y'all a mile away. You're a brainwashed ass Christian. Okay? You probably be in there Sunday morning, you know, with your pointy ass shoes on. Probably listening to Rod Parsley and fucking Peter Popoff and the rest of them motherfuckers. That's what you sound like. They done brainwashed the shit out of you, boy. They done brainwashed your ass. All right? But you ain't gonna come on here leaving these little dog shit stains all over what I'm doing. Hell no. We getting that Christian bullshit out of here. Okay? Yeah. Sex is marriage, my boy. Sex is marriage. You show me in the Bible where you gotta have paperwork to prove you married. Why? Because the government say so? Well, the Apostle Peter already told you that you obey the power better than man. Now that we know, we got marriages in this body right now. We got a bunch of married couples, right? We got a bunch of them. And guess what? If they want to take on another wife, I don't recommend that right now, because the only thing you got to do, you got to be able to take care of all of them. All right? Let me get that. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 21. And 10. And it says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. That's the Most High's way of being married. All right? Now, you show me in scripture where you got to have a piece of paper to say you married. What does the preacher say? We are gathered here today to unite these two in holy matrimony. All right? So your wife become your mama. That's why when you get married, all right, that's why these women feel that they can do this shit. Where you going? Where you been? Why you home so late? Why you doing that? Well, baby, I just stopped off to shoot a little pool with the boy. She become your mama. Oh, but let her go out. Ooh, let her go out. Baby, you home a little late. I'm grown. I'm grown. She become your mama. It's the haven of simps, okay? Unless you get that shit straight, all right? And this is why shit is so fucked up, because of henpecked ass niggas like you, all right? No, that's a goddamn lie. I ain't obeying no damn government with that. Like I say, if we had brothers in here that was well off, you know, they could afford 2 wives or whatever, and they could properly take care of them, that'd be a beautiful situation. All right? But now, here you go. No, you want people to believe you're God. You want people to believe you're God. And in your kingdom, you're never wrong. Nigga, shut up. See, that's what y'all don't get, man. This ain't me. I come from the word. All right? I don't even know why you tried to jump naked right now. What else you got going? So you said, also the last hour already happened. But about that day or hour no man knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son of the power, but only the Father. 1 John 2:18. Now is the last hour. Antichrists have come. Therefore we know it is the last hour. See how John knew it was the last hour, because he saw the signs. The last hour was about the destruction of the temple, the Mosaic system, and Jerusalem being left desolate. This was also the full fruit of the removal of sin. Okay. I would be inclined to agree with that. Isaiah 27:9. Therefore, by this guilt of Jacob will be atoned for, and this will be the full fruit of the removal of his sin, when he makes all the stones of the altars like chalk stones, crushed to pieces. No Asherim or incense altars remain standing. The elements. Now you added that in there. All right. Yet the defense city shall be desolate, and the habitation forsaken and left like a wilderness. All right. We know that happened in 70 AD. So you're trying to link that, all right, in John, you're trying to link that to Revelation. All right. Well, let's go to Revelation 17. Because there's some things missing in your breakdown. Okay. Yeah, sin did come. Yes, Yahushua defeated sin on the cross. Yes, he did. Everybody that repented back then, all right, everybody that repented back then got their sins forgiven. And sin in the Mosaic law was done away with. I agree 100,000,000% with that. That's exactly what happened. This is why we don't keep the law of Moses no more. But we can't use it as a tool of discipline in the nation, which is what it was designed for. It wasn't designed to keep, it was an instruction guide. But it was never meant to save anybody. So that much we agree on. That's how I know you're a Christian. See? Christians are better than Pharisees in one way and worse in another. All right? Y'all are extremes in the other direction. Y'all are extreme when it comes to forgiveness and love your enemies and all of that. That ain't for us right now. But I'll let you do that. I'll let you keep getting bitched as a Christian. All right? Had them going upside your head. When the Antichrist pop up, then you're going to know where you're at. And he's coming too. All right? Now, let's deal with this in, you came out of 2 John. All right. Well, let's go to Revelation 17. All right? Starting at 1. And there came and there came one of the 7 angels, which had 7 vials, and taught with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, who is that talking about? Please leave your reply in the comment board. Who is the great whore that sitteth upon many waters? Was that Rome too? Because all I know that was in Rome was Judites and Romans and Esau, right? Which was the bloodline of Herod Agrippa. Them no ones. So it wasn't no many waters over there. America is though. America is called bring me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to be free. You got Moab here, Ammon, Elam, fucking Gad, Reuben. All right. You got Asher. You got who else? You got everybody here. Issachar. You got every race known to man here. You got Scottish, German, Dutch, British, okay? You got all of that here. So, that's why I said, the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Verse 2, whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. All right? And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Now, Rome and the United States do have a similarity. Rome took tribute from every nation they conquered. Keep your gods, keep whatever you do, just run us our bread. If you do that, you won't have no problem. We don't give a fuck who you worship. Plant your crops. You can pray to the damn cockroaches if you want to. Rome didn't give a fuck about that. All they wanted was for you to pay them tribute. That's it. But this is different right here. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon scarlet-colored beasts, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. When did Rome have 7 heads and 10 horns? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written the name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold, the beast was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which has wisdom. 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. But Rome had a Caesar. Wasn't those 7 heads and 7 horns? All right? That's talking about the United Arab Emirates. Those are the 7 heads, right? The 10 horns have yet to be revealed, okay? And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet. So you can't sit here and say that that was wrong. He just said they have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. They have one mind, and shall give their power and strength to the beast. Okay? So, what are you talking about? Now, let's go to Revelation 18. We're going to start at verse 1. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried with a mighty strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So what is every unclean and hateful bird? What was that? The Romans and the Judites and the Edomites that was there? No, it's talking about all of the ones that are over here now. Every unclean and hateful bird. Okay? All of the nationalities. Look at verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. When did Rome make any other nation rich other than itself? But the United States did. That's why Trump putting tariffs on all these nations now, smart ass. So what are you talking about? When did Rome make other nations rich? When? Leave that in the comment board. Tell me what nations Rome made rich. I can tell you what nations the United States made rich. France, Germany. You ever heard of the G7? Huh? Canada, France, Sweden, Germany, the G7. These are the nations that America has made rich, because America sold out her own people. This is why China's crying now. China especially. Everything you got, made in China, made in China, made in China. Now that Trump has slapped that 245% tariff on their ass, they on their fucking knees, crying. Please, Mr. Trump, please. Please remove the tariffs. Please. Please, Mr. Trump. Yes, please, Mr. Trump now. See, he bending their fucking fingers back, see? Look what he said in verse 4. I mean, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. When did they get that offer back then during the time that the temple was destroyed? They didn't. They didn't get that. Let me prove it to you. Let's go to Luke 13:34. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killeth the prophets and stoneth them that are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, as a hen doth gather her brood under her wings, and you would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate, and verily I say unto you, ye shall not see me until the time come when ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So, you know what that means? That means that from the time of Yahushua, when he died, all the way till now, it's still the same generation. Didn't know that, did you? Now, let's go back to Revelation 18. Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power have remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. When did Rome get double the cup? Now, yeah, the temple got burned down and everything, but that affected Judites. That didn't affect Rome. Rome is the one that burnt it down. So you saying they burnt their own shit down? Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she has said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. When did Rome refer to itself in a feminine energy like that? Never. America is a country of matriarchal rule. That's why it's women's rights, women's this, women's that, getting united in holy matrimony. America is one big bitch, okay? That's why you got women in the army fighting, in the Navy, all right? You got women running corporations and shit, okay? And women get everything when it comes to a man going to court. He gets raped and pillaged in court. You give all your money to the woman. The man can't get custody of his fucking kids because America is a fucking bitch, okay? Look at verse 8. Now, Revelations 18:8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord who judgeth her. So, did Rome get burned with fire at that time? No. It got burnt down under Nero, okay? But that ain't what he was talking about. This country here that enslaved his children, they're going to pay. That's what you're not getting. Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, staying afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Did Rome burn down in an hour? Fuck no. Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. When did the world buy Rome's merchandise? Look here. Verse 12. The merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple and silk, scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of the most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, fire, flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Ain't that what Trump just doing now? Ain't he selling people now? So it's talking about the United States. It is not talking about Rome during the time of John the Revelator. It's not. You can try to make that shit fit all you want, and it don't. All right? So get out of here with that shit. All right? You don't know this Bible. And I enjoy cutting your motherfucking ass up. All right? You Christians are a fucking joke, and you're brainwashed. All right? So, fuck out of here with all that bullshit, Armando. For real. All right? Leave that shit over here. Quit trying to teach over here. All right? All right, family. Another one bites the dust. Leave your replies on the comment board too, Armando. I'm very interested to hear what the fuck you got to say. All right? I either do that or move on to the next thing. All right? Like you always do. All right? I salute y'all, Royal House. It's your King and Shepherd KD. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai. We moving on. Keep it going. All right? See y'all on the next video. KD out. Shalom.